Okay, we ran solver and we found this solution. Now, at that time we requested two reports, answer report and sensitivity report. The answer report gives you the same answer that we see here of 560 of basic and 1200 of XP, giving you a profit of 199,600 in a kind of report format. So you will find the same information here. Okay. So the total profit, okay, we started out with 0 profit, the final value is 199,600. The number to produce of basic and XP, okay, again we started out with 0 and our final value is 560 and 1200. And these two variables are continuous variables. So this is where we talked about divisibility in one of the previous videos. These are divisible kind of variables, and we were fortunate to get integer answers. But if we didn't have integer answers, then we have to request integer solution. We'll talk about integer later on. Now, for each of the constraints, we're also given what are called binding and non-binding status. Now, some of the constraints are binding if the left-hand side and the right-hand side are equal. So, for example, let's go back to the model tab. So here, if you look at the hours used, assembly time, all of the 10,000 hours available are being used. So that means that constraint is binding. Whereas testing hours, we are only using 2960 of the available 3000. So there is a 40-hour slack. Okay, there is a gap of 40 hours of unused labor, and that's called slack. And same here, if you look at these two, you have a maximum sales of 600, we are only producing 560. So there is a slack of 40, and here there is no slack. So when there is no slack, those constraints are called binding constraints. If there is slack, then they are non-binding, and that's what's shown here in the answer report. You see, labor availability assembly is binding, slack is 0. Okay, labor for testing is not binding, slack is 40. Number to produce basic is non-binding, okay, so slack is 40, and number to produce of XP is binding, so slack is 0. So that's what answer report is about. Now let's look at sensitivity report. The sensitivity report has two parts. There is sensitivity for the objective function and then the sensitivity for constraints. Now what we mean by sensitivity is, let's go back to the model, and now you see the unit margin of $80 and $129, which was used here to find the total profit. What would happen if the unit margin is different? Instead of $80, what if it is $70 or $90? And similarly here for XP, what if it is not 129 or something else? In what way the solution will change? And that is given by, and that is given by, in the sensitivity report, the first table gives you that. So that is our objective function sensitivity report. So here the XP value is 560 and 1200. The number to produce of basic is 560, XP is 1200. Now the objective coefficient is $80 for basic and 129 for XP. Now the coefficient may change according to these values. It is allowed to increase up to $27.5. That is, it can go up from 80 all the way to 107.5, or it can decrease by $80, or it can go down from 80 all the way to 0. Within that range, okay, so this is the allowable increase and decrease. Within that range, the final value will not change. Final value 560 for basic and 1200 for XP, for both variables, okay, will remain the same. So that's what this sensitivity is about. Now for the second coefficient, okay, the allowable increase is 1 times e to the power. So this is to be read as 1 e to the power of 30. In other words, it is a really large number, or we could say infinity. So allowable increase is not limited, it is infinite. So from $129, the profit margin can go up and up without limit. Okay? There is no upper limit. On the downside, it can go down by allowable decrease is $33. So it can go down to 129 minus 33. So within that range, the final values for the two decision variables will not change. It will be 560 and 1200. So that is the sensitivity about the objective function.